Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the deep horizon, watching the stars through the main viewing window. He had been in space for 15 years, but the sight still amazed him. Millions of bright dots scattered across the black void, like diamonds on dark cloth. "Captain, we are getting strange readings from Sector 7, said Dr. Lisa Bradford, his science officer. She was looking at her computer screen with a worried face. "The energy signals don't match anything in our database." Jake walked over to her station and looked at the data. Numbers and graphs filled the screen, but they made no sense to him. That was why he needed Lisa. She was the smartest person he knew when it came to space science. "What kind of energy are we talking about?" Jake asked. "It's big, Captain, really big. The readings show something massive is out there, hidden in the asteroid field near the edge of our scanning range," Lisa said. She touched the screen and pointed to a red dot that was blinking slowly. "But according to our star maps, there should be nothing there except rocks and ice." Jake rubbed his chin. The Deep Horizon was an exploration ship, built to find new things in space. They had been traveling for 3 months looking for planets that humans could live on. So far, they had found nothing interesting, just empty space and dead rocks. "How far away is it?" Jake asked. "About 6 hours at normal speed," said Lieutenant Amy Parker from the communications station. She was young but very good at her job. "Should I alert the crew?" Jake thought about it. They were far from Earth and any help. If they found something dangerous, they would be on their own. But that was what exploration was about, taking risks to discover new things. "Yes, tell everyone to get ready. We're going to investigate," Jake said. He pressed a button on his chair. "All hands, this is the captain. We have detected an unknown energy source. All departments prepare for possible contact. Security teams to stations." The ship became busy as crew members hurried to their posts. Jake watched them work and felt proud. These were good people who trusted him to keep them safe. Commander Ryan Hayes arrived on the bridge a few minutes later. Ryan was the security chief, a big man with strong arms and a serious face. He had been a soldier before joining the space service. "What's the situation, Captain?" Ryan asked. "We don't know yet. Lisa found something big hiding in an asteroid field. Could be nothing, could be something important," Jake said. Ryan nodded. "My teams are ready. If we need to board anything, we can do it." Katie Sullivan came up from the engineering deck. She was small but tough, with oil stains on her uniform and tools in her belt. Katie could fix anything on the ship. "Captain, I've checked all our systems. Everything is working perfectly. If we need extra power or speed, we can do it," Katie said. Jake smiled. His crew was ready for anything. "Good. Lisa, set course for those readings. Let's see what we found." The deep horizon turned toward the unknown energy source. The ship moved smoothly through space, past floating rocks and chunks of ice. Jake watched the main screen as they got closer to their target. "Captain, the readings are getting stronger," Lisa said. Her voice was excited now. "Whatever's out there, it's huge, much bigger than our ship." "How big?" Jake asked. "At least 10 times our size, maybe more. The energy signature is unlike anything I've ever seen. It's old, Captain. Very old." Jake felt a chill run down his back. In space, old things could be dangerous. Ancient alien weapons, dead civilizations, or worse things that humans had not discovered yet. "All stop," Jake ordered. The ship slowed down and came to a halt. "Lisa, scan everything. I want to know what we're dealing with before we get any closer." Lisa worked at her station, her fingers moving quickly over the controls. Numbers and pictures appeared on the screens around the bridge. Jake saw shapes and shadows, but nothing clear. "Captain, you need to see this," Lisa said. Her voice was very quiet, almost a whisper. Jake walked to her station and looked at the main display. What he saw made him step back in surprise. There, floating among the asteroids, was a ship. But it was not like any ship he had ever seen. The vessel was enormous, with smooth curves and strange patterns on its hull. It looked organic, like it had grown instead of being built. The metal was dark but seemed to glow with a faint light. Long sections stretched out from the main body like arms reaching into space. "My God," Jake whispered. "How long has it been here?" The computer is trying to figure that out, Lisa said. But Captain, look at this. She pointed to another screen that showed the ship's design. These measurements, the way it's built, the proportions look familiar. Jake stared at the image. Lisa was right. Something about the ship reminded him of human designs, but older and more advanced than anything humans had ever built. Captain, I'm detecting very low power readings from the vessel, Amy said from her station. Something is still working inside that ship. Is it alive? Ryan asked. His hand moved to his weapon. I don't think so, Lisa said. The power levels are too low for a living crew, but the ship's systems are still running, just barely. Jake made his decision. Amy, try to contact them. Send a standard greeting message on all frequencies. Amy worked at her controls for several minutes. No, response, Captain. But I am detecting some kind of automated signal coming from the ship. It's very weak and in a language I don't recognize. Can you record it? Jake asked. Already doing it, sir. Jake looked at the mysterious ship on the screen. It floated silently among the rocks, like a sleeping giant. Whatever it was, whoever built it, they had been here for a very long time. Katie, can we get closer safely? Jake asked. Katie studied her instruments. The ship doesn't seem to be giving off any dangerous radiation. I think we can approach, but we should be careful. Do it. Take us in slowly. Everyone stay alert. The deep horizon moved forward carefully. As they got closer, the alien ship became even more impressive. Jake could see details on the hull now. Strange symbols and patterns covered the surface. Some sections looked damaged, as if the ship had been in battles long ago. Captain, I'm detecting docking ports, Ryan said, looking at his tactical display. They look compatible with our systems. How is that possible? Jake asked. I don't know, sir, but if we wanted to board that ship, we probably could. Jake thought about it. They had found something incredible, something that could change everything humans knew about space and other civilizations. But it could also be dangerous. Lisa, any signs of life? Jake asked. None that I can detect. But Captain, there's something else. The ship's computer systems are still partially active. If we could connect to them, we might learn where this ship came from. Jake looked around the bridge at his crew. They were all watching him, waiting for his decision. This was why they were out here, to explore and discover. But they also had to stay alive. All right, we're going to board that ship, Jake said. Ryan, pick your best people. Katie, I want you with them to check the technical systems. Lisa, bring your scanning equipment. We need to learn everything we can. Yes, sir, they all said together. Jake looked at the ancient ship on the screen one more time. Whatever secrets it held, they were about to find out. He just hoped they were ready for what they might discover inside. Jake Morrison put on his spacesuit in the airlock with Commander Ryan Hayes, Dr. Lisa Bradford, and Engineer Katie Sullivan. The suits felt heavy but safe. They would protect them from whatever they might find inside the ancient ship. Remember, we don't know what's in there, Ryan said as he checked his weapon. Stay close to me and don't touch anything unless Lisa or Katie says it's safe. The air readings from the ship show it might be breathable, but we keep our helmets on until... We're sure, Lisa said. She carried a bag full of scanning tools and computers. Katie had her engineering kit with her. If their technology is compatible with ours, I should be able to figure out how their systems work. Jake nodded to his team. Let's go find out what secrets this ship has been keeping. They walked through the connecting tube that linked their ship to the ancient vessel. Jake's heart was beating fast. In all his years in space, he had never found anything like this. The tube was dark except for their helmet lights. The airlock on the ancient ship was bigger than theirs. When they stepped inside, lights came on, automatically. The walls were smooth and curved, made of a metal that looked almost alive. Motion sensors, Katie said, looking at the lights. After all this time, they still work. They moved into the first corridor. It was wide enough for 4 people to walk side by side. The ceiling was high and strange symbols covered the walls. The air had a metallic smell even through their suits. Lisa, are you getting readings on the atmosphere? Jake asked. Lisa looked at her scanner. It's actually breathable, Captain. The oxygen levels are good and I don't detect any dangerous gases. But there's something strange about the air mixture. It's almost exactly like Earth's atmosphere. That's impossible, Ryan said. How could an alien ship have Earth air? They kept walking down the corridor. Their footsteps echoed in the empty space. Every few meters they passed doorways that led to other parts of the ship. Most were closed, but some were open, showing dark rooms beyond. Captain, look at this, Katie said. She was examining a control panel on the wall. These controls, the spacing, the height, they're made for hands like ours. Jake looked at the panel. Katie was right. The buttons and switches were the right size for human fingers. The whole corridor seemed designed for people, their size. This doesn't make sense, Jake said. If this ship is alien, why does everything fit us so well? They continued deeper into the ship. The corridors branched off in different directions, creating a maze of passages. Jake tried to remember their route so they could find their way back. Suddenly more lights came on ahead of them. Then they heard a sound that made them all stop. It was a low humming noise like machinery starting up. The ship is waking up, Lisa said, looking at her scanner. Power levels are increasing all over the vessel. Is that good or bad? Ryan asked, his hand on his weapon. Before anyone could answer, the floor under their feet began to vibrate. The humming got louder, and more lights came on throughout the ship. Jake could feel the vessel moving. We need to get back to our ship, Ryan said. This could be dangerous. But as they turned around, Jake saw something that made him stop. At the end of the corridor, a doorway had opened. Bright light was coming from inside, and he could see what looked like a large room. Wait, Jake said. Let's see what's in there. If the ship wanted to hurt us, it would have done it already. They walked toward the open doorway. As they got closer, Jake could see that the room was huge. It was filled with computers and display screens. In the center was a raised platform with a chair that looked like a command station. When they stepped into the room, all the screens came to life. Pictures and symbols appeared everywhere. The computers were making soft, beeping sounds. It's a control room, Katie said with wonder in her voice. Captain, this is the bridge of the ship, and it's still working after all this time. Lisa was already scanning everything with her equipment. The technology is incredible. These computers are more advanced than anything we have, but they're also very old. Jake walked to the command chair in the center. When he got close, a holographic display appeared in front of him. It showed pictures of stars and planets like a navigation map. Don't touch anything yet, Ryan warned, but it was too late. Jake had already stepped closer to get a better look. When he did, the entire room changed. The walls became transparent, showing the space around them. Jake could see their own ship, the Deep Horizon, connected to the ancient vessel. A voice spoke from speakers around the room. It was saying words in a language none of them understood, but the tone sounded friendly, almost welcoming. Amy, can you hear us? Jake spoke into his radio. Yes, Captain, but something strange is happening. The ship you're on is moving. It's pulling us along with it. Jake looked at the star map in front of him. A line of light was moving across it, showing their path through space. The ship was taking them somewhere. Captain, look at this, Lisa said. She was standing at another console. I'm getting readings from all over this ship. There are thousands of rooms. Maybe tens of thousands of people could live here. But most of the ship is empty. Katie was working at an engineering station. The power source is amazing. It's been running for a very long time, but it's still strong. This ship could travel for thousands of years without stopping. The voice spoke again, and this time Amy's voice came through their radios. Captain, I'm picking up the same signal on our communication system. The ship is trying to talk to us. Can you understand it? Jake asked. I'm running it through our translation programs, but it's not working. The language is completely unknown. Jake looked around the control room. Everything was working perfectly, as if the ship had been waiting for them. But waiting for what? Lisa, can you connect your computer to their systems? Jake asked. I can try, but we don't know what might happen. Do it. We need to understand what this ship wants, Lisa took a cable from her equipment and found what looked like a connection port on one of the consoles. When she plugged it in, all the screens around them flashed. Then new images appeared. They saw pictures of planets, ships flying through space, and people. The people looked human, but their clothes and tools were different from anything Jake had seen. "My God," Lisa whispered. "Captain, these aren't aliens. These are humans." "That's impossible," Ryan said. "Humans have never built ships like this." But the pictures kept showing. Jake saw images of Earth, but it looked different. There were cities in places where he knew only ocean should be. The continents were shaped wrong. "How old did you say this ship was?" Jake asked Lisa. Lisa checked her scanner again. "The metal samples I tested showed it's at least 20,000 years old, maybe older." Jake stared at the images on the screens. 20,000 years ago, humans were supposed to be living in caves and hunting animals with spears. They weren't supposed to be flying ships between the stars. The voice spoke again, and this time it sounded urgent. The star map showed they were moving faster now, heading toward a group of stars that Jake didn't recognize. "Captain, we have a problem," Amy's voice came through the radio. "Our engines are offline. The ancient ship has some kind of tractor beam on us. We can't break free." Jake looked at his team. They were trapped on an ancient human ship that was taking them to an unknown destination. The ship's computers were showing them impossible things, and they had no way to get home. "Katie, can you figure out how to control this ship?" Jake asked. "I'm trying, but their technology is so advanced. It's like trying to fly a jet when you only know how to drive a car." The ship continued moving through space, carrying the deep horizon with it. Jake watched the stars go by on the transparent walls. Somewhere out there was their destination, and Jake had a feeling their lives were about to change forever. Jake Morrison watched as more pictures appeared on the screens around them. The ancient ship was showing them things that seemed impossible. Images of Earth from long ago, when the land and water were in different places than they were now. "Captain, I think I'm starting to understand some of these symbols," Lisa said. She was working at her computer trying to match the strange writing with languages in their database. The translation program is finding small connections, words that sound like very old Earth languages. Katie was still trying to figure out the ship's controls. "These systems are incredible. They're using technology we don't even have today, but they're thousands of years old. How is that possible?" Ryan kept watch by the door. "I don't like this. We're trapped on a ship we don't understand, going to a place we don't know. This could be a trap." Jake understood Ryan's worry, but he felt something different. The ship didn't feel dangerous. It felt lost, like it had been searching for something for a very long time. "Amy, what's our status?" Jake spoke into his radio. "Still being pulled along, Captain. But I've been monitoring their communications. The signals are getting stronger. I think we're getting close to wherever this ship wants to go." Lisa made an excited sound. "Captain, I got something. Look at this." She pointed to her screen where she had been working on translating the symbols. Words were appearing in English, but they were broken and hard to read. Home, children, lost, search, return. Lisa read the words slowly. It's like a message or a mission statement. Jake felt a chill. This ship has been looking for something called home and children for 20,000 years. More images appeared on the main displays. Jake saw pictures of huge ships leaving a planet that looked like Earth. Hundreds of ships, all different sizes, flying away into space. Then the images showed the same ships, spreading out in different directions, each going to different star systems. "It's an evacuation," Katie said, staring at the pictures. "They were leaving Earth in a hurry." "But why?" Ryan asked. "What were they running from?" The ship's voice spoke again, and this time Lisa's computer was able to translate some of the words. "Warning, danger, home lost, children scattered, must find, must protect." Jake began to understand. This ship was part of a fleet that left Earth 20,000 years ago. Something bad happened, and they had to spread out across the galaxy. This ship has been looking for the other ships ever since. Lisa worked faster at her computer. Captain, I'm finding more information. The ship's name is the Eternal Wanderer. It was designed to keep contact between all the colony ships after they left Earth. Colony ships? Jake asked. Yes, sir. According to this data, each ship carried thousands of people to start new homes on different planets. But something went wrong. They lost contact with each other. Katie found something at her engineering station. Captain, look at this power reading. This ship has been running on automatic for thousands of years. The crew is here, but they're asleep. Asleep? Ryan asked. Cryogenic sleep. There are chambers all over the ship with people in them. Thousands of people, all frozen in time, waiting to wake up. Jake felt his heart race. There were thousands of ancient humans on this ship, people who had left Earth when his ancestors were living in caves. They had been sleeping in space for longer than recorded history. Are they alive? Jake asked. Katie checked her readings. Yes, sir. The life support systems show they're all alive and healthy. The ship has been taking care of them all this time. The ship's voice spoke again, and Lisa translated. Children found, signals detected, home nearby, awakening soon. Children, Jake said. It thinks we're the children it's been looking for. That doesn't make sense, Ryan said. We're from Earth, not from one of their colony ships. Lisa was reading more data from the ship's computer. Captain, I think it does make sense. Look at this timeline. They left Earth 20,000 years ago, but humans stayed on Earth too. We're their descendants, the ones who didn't leave. So we are their children in a way, Jake said. And the ship has been following signals from our colonies and space stations. It thinks our settlements are the lost colonies it was supposed to find. The star map in front of Jake changed, showing their destination. It was a solar system with several planets, and one of them was marked with human symbols. Captain, that's the New Horizon system. Amy's voice came through the radio. The ship is taking us to our newest colony. Jake looked at his team. The ship thinks New Horizon is one of the lost colonies from 20,000 years ago. It's trying to reunite them with the people in the sleep chambers. What happens when it gets there? Ryan asked. Before anyone could answer, alarms started ringing throughout the ship. The lights changed from white to blue, and the ship's voice spoke more urgently. Lisa translated quickly. Awakening sequence in preparation. Home found, children safe, reunion soon. Katie's engineering station lit up with activity. Captain, the ship is preparing to wake up its crew. The cryogenic systems are starting their revival process. How long do we have? Jake asked. According to these readings, about 6 hours, Jake thought quickly. When those ancient humans woke up, they would find a galaxy very different from the one they left. Their Earth was gone, changed by 20,000 years of time. The colonies they were looking for had never been found because they probably didn't exist anymore. We need to contact New Horizon, Jake said. They need to know what's coming. Already trying, Captain, Amy said through the radio. But we're still too far away for normal communications. Lisa was reading more information from the ship's database. Captain, there's something else. This ship wasn't just looking for colonies. It was carrying something important. What kind of something? Jake asked. Knowledge. The complete history and technology of Earth from 20,000 years ago. Star maps showing where all the colony ships went. Medical knowledge. Scientific. Discoveries, cultural records. Everything the scattered colonies would need to rebuild civilization. Jake understood now why this discovery was so important. The Eternal Wanderer wasn't just carrying sleeping people. It was carrying the lost history of humanity's first expansion into space. Captain, we're getting close to the New Horizon system, Amy reported. I can see their defense satellites on our scanners. Ryan looked worried. When they see this huge unknown ship approaching their colony, they're going to think it's an attack. Can we send them a message? Jake asked. I'm trying, but this ship's communication system is too different from ours, Katie said. The ship suddenly shook, and the lights flickered. Through the transparent walls, Jake could see other ships approaching. Small, fast military vessels from the New Horizon Defense Fleet. Captain, we're being scanned by multiple ships, Amy reported. They're trying to contact us, but they're also powering up their weapons. Jake knew they had minutes before the situation became dangerous. The Colonial Defense Force would see the Eternal Wanderer as a threat to their colony. They wouldn't. No, it was carrying thousands of ancient humans who had been searching for home for 20,000 years. Lisa, can you broadcast our translation of the ship's message? Jake asked. I can try to patch into their communication system. Do it. Tell New Horizon who this ship is and why it's here. Tell them about the people sleeping inside. Lisa worked quickly at her computer. Jake watched the approaching defense, ships getting closer. Soon, the ancient humans would wake up to find their long search was over. But first, Jake had to make sure they woke up to peace, not war. The ship's voice spoke again, calmer now. Lisa translated the words that would change. Everything. Home found. Children safe. Mission complete. Welcome home. Jake Morrison watched the defense ships getting closer to the Eternal Wanderer. Their weapons were charged and ready to fire. He knew that the colonial fleet saw them as a threat, not as the miracle they really were. Lisa, are you getting through to them? Jake asked urgently. Lisa was working frantically at the communications console. I'm trying, Captain, but their system is so different from ours. Wait, I think I got something. A crackling voice came through the speakers. It was speaking the ancient language, but Lisa's computer was translating it in real time. New Horizon Defense Fleet. This is Captain Jake Morrison of the exploration ship Deep Horizon. We are aboard an ancient human vessel called the Eternal Wanderer. Do not attack. Repeat, do not attack. This ship carries thousands of sleeping humans from Earth's past. There was silence for a long moment. Then a different voice answered, speaking modern English. Unknown vessel, this is Admiral Patricia Stone of the colonial battleship Liberty's Edge. You are approaching our colony with an unidentified ship of massive size. Explain your intentions immediately. Jake took a deep breath. Admiral Stone, what I'm about to tell you will sound impossible, but it's true. This ship is 20,000 years old. It left Earth during humanity's first expansion into space. It's been searching the galaxy for lost colonies ever since. That's impossible, Admiral Stone replied. 20,000 years ago, humans barely knew how to make fire. Katie looked up from her engineering station. Captain, the awakening process is accelerating. The first group of sleepers will be awake in less than an hour. Jake spoke into the radio again. Admiral, I'm sending you data from the ship's computer. Historical records, star maps, technology blueprints. Everything will prove what I'm telling. You. Lisa worked quickly to transmit the information. Data sent, Captain. There was another long silence. Jake could see the defense ships holding their position, but their weapons were still ready to fire. Ryan was watching the displays that showed activity throughout the Eternal Wanderer. Captain, I'm seeing movement in the sleep chambers. People are starting to wake up. Jake felt his heart racing. In a few minutes, humans who had been asleep for 200 centuries would open their eyes. They would expect to find the colonies they had been sent to protect. Instead, they would find a galaxy that had moved on without them. Admiral Stone, please respond, Jake said into the radio. Finally, the Admiral's voice came back, but it sounded different now, amazed and confused. Captain Morrison, we've reviewed your data. Our scientists say it's authentic. The information you sent us contains star maps of regions we've never explored and technology we don't understand. How is this possible? Because the people on this ship are our ancestors, Admiral. They're the original space travelers who left Earth when our civilization was young. They've been looking for their lost children for 20,000 years. Jake heard Admiral Stone talking to her officers in the background. He could tell they were all struggling to understand what they had discovered. Katie called out from her station. Captain, the first sleep chamber is opening. Someone's waking up. Jake looked at the display screen that showed the chamber area. A glass door was sliding open and white mist was pouring out. Inside, a figure was sitting up slowly, looking around in confusion. Lisa, can you access the internal communication system? We need to talk to whoever is waking up. Lisa found the right controls. I think so, Captain. I'm connecting to the chamber's communication system now. A weak voice came through the speakers, speaking in the ancient language. Lisa's computer translated the words. Where am I? How long have I been asleep? Jake spoke carefully, knowing his words would be translated into the ancient language. You are on the ship Eternal Wanderer. You have been asleep for a very long time. My name is Jake Morrison. I'm human, like you. There was silence. Then the voice spoke again. Stronger, now. I am Commander Elena Vasquez. I was the mission leader for Colony Group 7. Where are my people? Where are the colonies we were sent to find? Jake looked at his team. How do you tell someone that they've been asleep for 20,000 years? That the mission they started is older than recorded history? Commander Vasquez, there's a lot I need to explain to you. But first you should know that your mission was successful. You found us. More sleep chambers were opening now. Jake could see dozens of people waking up, all looking confused and scared. They had gone to sleep expecting to wake up in a few years. Instead, they had slept through the rise and fall of entire civilizations. Admiral Stone's voice came through the radio again. Captain Morrison, we're reading massive power increases from your ship. Our sensors show thousands of life signs, becoming active. They're waking up, Admiral. The crew of the Eternal Wanderer is coming back to life after 20,000 years. We need to help them, Admiral Stone said. This is the greatest discovery in human history. We're sending medical teams and support ships. Jake felt relief wash over him. The colonial fleet understood now. They weren't going to attack. They were going to help. Commander Vasquez's voice came through the speakers again, clearer now. Jake Morrison, I need to speak with you in person. Can you come to the awakening chambers? On my way, Commander. Jake and his team left the control room and walked through the corridors of the Eternal Wanderer. The ship was fully alive now, with lights and air systems running at full power. They could hear voices echoing from different parts of the ship as more people woke up. When they reached the awakening chambers, Jake saw something that took his breath away. Hundreds of people were sitting up in their sleep pods looking around in wonder and confusion. They were dressed in simple clothes, and their faces showed the same mix of hope and fear that all travelers feel when they reach a new place. Commander Vasquez was standing near the main door. She was a woman in her 40s with short gray hair and intelligent eyes. When she saw Jake, she walked over to him with slow, careful steps. You are Jake Morrison? She asked in English. Her accent was strange, like no language Jake had ever heard. Yes, Commander. Welcome back to the waking world. Elena looked around at Jake's team, then at the other awakening people. How long were we asleep? Our mission was supposed to take only 5 years. Jake took a deep breath. Commander, you've been asleep for 20,000 years. Elena's face went pale. She sat down heavily on a nearby bench. 20,000? That's impossible. Our sleep systems were only designed for short missions. Your ship kept you alive and safe all this time. It's been searching the galaxy for the colonies you were sent to find. Other awakened people were gathering around them now, listening to the conversation. Jake could see the shock and disbelief on their faces. A man with a beard stepped forward. I am Dr. Nathan Price, chief scientist of this mission. Are you saying that we've been traveling through space for 200 centuries? Yes, Dr. Price. And in that time, humanity has spread across the galaxy. We've built new colonies, new civilizations. The people you were looking for, they're us. We're your descendants. Elena stood up slowly. Then our mission is complete. We found the lost children of Earth. Jake nodded. And now we've found you. After 20,000 years, the circle is complete. Admiral Stone's voice came through the ship's communication system. Eternal Wanderer, this is Admiral Stone. We're preparing to escort you to New Horizon Station. Our entire colony wants to welcome you home. Elena looked at Jake with tears in her eyes. Home. We've been searching for home for so long. You found it, Commander. Welcome home. Jake Morrison stood in the main meeting hall of New Horizon Station, watching history unfold before his eyes. The hall was filled with people from both the ancient ship and the modern colony. After 3 days of careful preparation, this was the first official meeting between humanity's past and present. Commander Elena Vasquez sat at one end of the large table, with Dr. Nathan Price and other leaders from the Eternal Wanderer beside her. At the other end sat Admiral Patricia Stone and the colonial governors. Jake and his crew sat in the middle, serving as translators and guides between the two groups. The awakening process is almost complete, Dr. Price said, speaking slowly as the translation computers converted his words. We now have over 8,000 people awake and adjusting to their new reality. Admiral Stone leaned forward. Our medical teams report that all of your people are in excellent health. Your sleep technology kept them perfectly preserved. Jake watched Elena as she listened to the translation. Her face showed wonder and sadness at the same time. In 3 days, she had learned that Earth was very different now, that the colonies they had been sent to find were long gone, and that humanity had spread across the galaxy in ways they never imagined. Tell me about Earth, Elena said to Jake. Is our home still there? Jake chose his words carefully. Earth is still there, Commander, but it's changed a lot in 20,000 years. There are billions of people living there now. The continents have moved, the climate is different, and technology has advanced far beyond what your people knew. Elena nodded sadly. I expected that. 20,000 years is a long time, even for a planet. Dr. Price opened a data tablet that the modern humans had given him. We've been studying your star maps and colony records. According to our data, you sent out over 300 colony ships from Earth. Do you know what happened to all of them? Admiral Stone consulted her own records. We found evidence of some of those colonies, ruins on distant planets, abandoned, settlements, archaeological sites that match your time period. But most of the colonies failed or disappeared long ago. So many lost, Elena whispered. We failed in our mission to keep them connected. No, Jake said firmly. You didn't fail. Look around this room. Humanity survived. We spread across the galaxy, we built new homes, new civilizations. Some of those original colonies might have failed, but their children found other ways to survive. Katie Sullivan, who had been studying the ancient ship's technology, spoke up. Commander Vasquez, the knowledge stored in your ship's computers is incredible. You have scientific discoveries, star maps of unexplored regions, and technologies that could help all of humanity. Elena looked at her fellow leaders from the Eternal Wanderer. They spoke quietly in their ancient language for a few minutes. Then she turned back to the modern humans. Dr. Price and I have discussed this with our people. We want to share everything we know with you. Our knowledge, our technology, our star maps showing where the other colony ships went. But we have a request. What kind of request? Admiral Stone asked. We want to continue our mission. For 20,000 years, we've been searching for lost human colonies. Now we know there might be more out there, descendants of the original colony ships who are still waiting to be found. Jake felt excitement building in his chest. You want to keep exploring? Yes, but not alone this time. We want to work together, with your people. Use both ancient and modern technology to search for the lost colonies and bring them home. Admiral Stone smiled. Commander, I think that can be arranged. Our exploration fleets would be honored to work with you. Dr. Price pulled up a star map on his tablet. We have records of 73 colony ships that we never found. They could have established successful settlements that have grown into full civilizations by now. Or they could be in trouble and need help, Elena added. Either way, they're our family. They deserve to know they're not alone in the galaxy. Jake looked around the room at all the faces, ancient and modern, all united by the same dream of exploration and discovery. How do we start? Admiral Stone stood up. The colonial government has already approved a joint exploration mission. We're assembling a fleet of our best ships to work with the Eternal Wanderer. Elena also stood. And we're preparing our people for a new kind of mission. Not just searching for lost colonies, but building bridges between all the scattered children of Earth. Over the next few hours, they planned the greatest exploration mission in human history. The Eternal Wanderer would be refitted with modern technology while keeping its ancient systems. Modern ships would be equipped with the star maps and knowledge from 20,000 years ago. Katie was especially excited about working with the ancient technology. Commander, your ship's power systems are amazing. If we can combine them with our modern engines, we could travel farther and faster than ever before. And our navigation systems could benefit from your computer technology, Dr. Price added. Together, we might be able to find colonies that have been lost for thousands of years. Lisa Bradford, who had been working on translating the ancient records, brought up another important point. We're not just looking for human settlements. The star maps show the locations of planets that might support life. We could find new homes for humanity. Elena looked at Jake. Captain Morrison, you found us after 20,000 years of searching. Will you help us find the others? Jake didn't hesitate. Commander, it would be my honor. Admiral Stone addressed the entire room. This mission will change everything. We know about humanity's place in the galaxy. We're not just scattered groups of people trying to survive in space. We're one family, spread across the stars, and it's time to bring that family back together. The meeting ended with both groups working together to plan their departure. The ancient humans would spend more time learning about modern technology and the current state of the galaxy. The modern humans would study the vast knowledge stored in the Eternal Wanderer's computers. Jake walked with Elena to the observation deck of the station. Through the large windows, they could see both ships docked together, the sleek modern Deep Horizon and the massive ancient Eternal Wanderer. Do you think we'll find them? Elena asked. The lost colonies? Jake looked out at the stars. Commander, your ship searched for 20,000 years and never gave up hope. That's the most human thing I've ever heard of. If there are people out there waiting to be found, we'll find them. Elena smiled. In 20,000 years, that's the first time I felt truly hopeful about completing our mission. It won't be just your mission anymore. It's our mission, now. All of humanity working together. As they stood watching the stars, more ships arrived at the station. Modern vessels from across the colonial territories coming to join the search fleet. The silence of 20,000 years was truly ending. Humanity was no longer scattered and alone in the galaxy. Jake thought about all the people on distant planets who didn't know they had family among the stars. Soon, they would learn they were not alone. The great search was beginning again, but this time it would succeed. The Eternal Wanderer had finally come home, and now it was time to bring everyone else home too. The galaxy was big, but humanity's reach was longer. After 20,000 years of separation, the children of Earth were ready to find each other again. The stars had never looked so welcoming,